Lasse Wellander, longtime ABBA guitarist, has died at 70. A key contributor to ABBA has died. Lasse Wellander was the group's lead guitarist on some of their biggest hits in the 1970s and 1980s, including Knowing Me, Knowing You, Slipping Through My Fingers, and Eagle. The ABBA band members Benny Andersson, Agnieszka Falskog, Annie Frid Lindstad, and Bjorn Ulvaeus released a statement on their Instagram page expressing their sorrow for the passing of Wellander, who played an integral role in the ABBA story. The statement also conveyed that Wellander's contribution will be remembered forever and he will greatly be missed. Born in 1952 in the small Swedish town of Skrekrahyttan, Wellander began playing the guitar after watching the Beatles perform on television in 1963. Prior to joining ABBA, Wellander played in a rock blues band called Nature, which toured with Swedish singer-songwriter Ted Gärdestad. It was during this time that he met Bjorn Ulvaeus and Benny Andersson, two of the male members of ABBA. Wellander played guitar on 8 ABBA studio albums and was a prominent performer in the group's live concerts. He first recorded with the group in 1974, playing guitar on Intermezzo No. 1 and Crazy World. Following ABBA's breakup in the early 1980s, Wellander pursued a solo career, producing and recording his own music. But he maintained strong connections with ABBA, contributing to the soundtracks of the two Mamma Mia movie musicals and also playing a part in ABBA's comeback album Voyage, released in 2021. Wellander died on Friday of cancer. He was 70 years old. ABBA, formerly named Bjorn and Betty, Agneta and Annie Frid, or Bjorn and Benny, Agneta and Frida, are a Swedish supergroup formed in Stockholm in 1972 by Agneta Falskog, Bjorn Ulvaeus, Benny Andersson, and Annie Frid Lindstad. The group's name is an acronym of the first letters of their first names arranged in a palindrome. One of the most popular and successful musical groups of all time, they are one of the best-selling musical acts in the history of popular music, topping the charts worldwide from 1974 to 1982 and in 2022. In 1974, ABBA were Sweden's first winner of the Eurovision Song Contest with the song Waterloo, which in 2005 was chosen as the best song in the competition's history as part of the 50th anniversary celebration of the contest. During the band's active years, it consisted of two married couples, Falskog and Ulvaeus, and Lindstad and Andersson. With the increase of their popularity, their personal lives suffered, which eventually resulted in the collapse of both marriages. The relationship changes were reflected in the group's music, with later compositions featuring darker and more introspective lyrics. After ABBA separated in December of 1982, Andersson and Ulvaeus continued their success writing music for multiple audiences, including stage, musicals, and movies, while Falskog and Lindstad pursued solo careers. 10 years after the group broke up, a compilation, ABBA Gold, was released, becoming a worldwide bestseller. In 1999, ABBA's music was adapted into Mamma Mia, a stage musical that toured worldwide and as of April 2022 is still in the top 10 longest-running productions on both Broadway and the West End. A film of the same time, released in 2008, became the highest-grossing film in the United Kingdom that year. A sequel, Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, was released in 2018. In 2016, the group reunited and started working on a digital Avatar concert tour. Newly recorded songs were announced in 2018. Voyage, their first new album in 40 years, was released on 5th of November 2021 to positive critical reviews and strong sales in numerous countries. ABBA Voyage, a concert residency featuring ABBA as virtual avatars, opened in May 2022 in London. ABBA are among the best-selling music artists in history, with record sales estimated to be between 150 million to 385 million sold worldwide, and the group were ranked third best-selling singles artist in the United Kingdom with a total of 11.3 million singles sold by 3rd of November 2012. ABBA were the first group from a non-English speaking country to achieve consistent success in the charts of English-speaking countries, including the United Kingdom, Australia, United States, Republic of Ireland, Canada, New Zealand, and South Africa. They are the best-selling Swedish brand of all time and the best-selling band originating in continental Europe. ABBA had 8 consecutive number 1 albums in the UK. The group also enjoyed significant success in Latin America and recorded a collection of their hit songs in Spanish. ABBA were inducted into the Vocal Group Hall of Fame in 2002. The group were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2010, the first recording artist to receive this honor from outside an Anglophonic country. In 2015, their song Dancing Queen was inducted into the Recording Academy's Grammy Hall of Fame. Benny Andersson, born December 16, 1946, became a member of the popular Swedish pop rock group the Hep Stars that performed, among other things, covers of international hits. The Hep Stars were known as the Swedish Beatles. They also set up Hep House, their equivalent of Apple Corps. Anderson played the keyboard and eventually started writing his original songs for his band, many of which became major hits, including No Response, which hit number 3 in 1965, and Sunny Girl, Wedding, and Consolation, all of which hit number 1 in 1966. Anderson also had a fruitful songwriting collaboration with Lasse Wellander, with whom he wrote his first Svengstappen entry, Lagom om Lilla Sophie, The Tale of Little Sophie, in 1968. Björn Ulvaeus also began his musical career at the age of 18 when he fronted the Hootenanny Singers, a popular Swedish folk skiffy group. Ulvaeus started writing English-language songs for his group and even had a brief solo career alongside. The Hootenanny Singers and the Hep Stars sometimes crossed paths while touring. In June of 1966, Ulvaeus and Anderson decided to write a song together. Their first attempt was Isn't It Easy to Stay, a song that was later recorded by the Hep Stars. Stig Anderson was the manager of the Hootenanny Singers and founder of the Polar music label. He saw potential in the collaboration and encouraged them to write more. The two began playing occasionally with other bands on stage and on record, although it was not until 1969 that the pair wrote and produced some of their first real hits together. Juva 60-tal, Sweet 60s, recorded by Brita Borg, and the Hep Stars' 1969 hit Spelleman Fiddler. Anderson wrote and submitted the song Hey Clown for a Melody Festival in 1969, the national festival to select a Swedish entry to the Eurovision Song Contest. The song tied for first place, but revoting relegated Anderson's song to second place. On that occasion, Anderson briefly met his future spouse, singer Annie Frid Lindstad, who also participated in the contest. A month later, the two had become a couple. As their respective bands began to break up during 1969, Anderson and Ulvaeus teamed up and recorded their first album together in 1970 called Lycka, Happiness, which included original songs sung by both men. Their partners were often present in the recording studio and sometimes added backing vocals. Falskog even co-wrote a song with the two. Ulvaeus still occasionally recorded and performed with the Hootenanny Singers until the middle of 1974, and Anderson took part in producing their records. Annie Frid Lindstad sang from the age of 13 with various dance bands and worked mainly in jazz-oriented Caribbean style. She also performed with her own band, the Annie Frid 4. In the middle of 1967, she won a national talent competition with En ledig dag, A Day Off, a Swedish version of the bossa nova song A Day in Portofino, which is included in the EMI compilation Frida 1967 to 1972. The first prize was a recording contract with EMI Sweden and to perform live on the most popular TV shows in the country. This performance, amongst many others, is included in the 3.5-hour documentary Frida, the DVD. Lindstad released several Schlager-style singles on EMI with mixed success. When Benny Andersson started to produce her recordings in 1971, she had her first #1 single, Min egen stad, My Own Town, written by Benny and featuring all the future ABBA members on the backing vocals. Lindstad toured and performed regularly with the folk park circuit and made appearances on radio and television. She had a second #1 single in the late 1972. She had met Ulvaeus briefly in 1963 during a talent contest and Falskog during a TV show in early 1968. Lindstad linked up with her future bandmates in 1969. On the 1st of March 1969, she participated in Melody Festival, where she met Anderson for the first time. A few weeks later, they met again during a concert tour in southern Sweden, and they soon became a couple. Anderson produced her single Peter Pan in September 1969, her first collaboration with Benny and Björn, as they had written the song. Anderson would then produce Lindstad's debut studio album Frida, which was released in March 1971. Lindstad also played in several revenues and Caribbean shows in Stockholm between 1969 and 1973. After ABBA formed, she recorded another successful album in 1975, Frida and Sam, which included the original Swedish rendition of Fernando, a hit in the Swedish radio charts before the English version was released by ABBA.